I'd like to welcome everybody to the Veterans Resume Recharge Workshop. How this came about, Deborah and I were in class together over in Jack Brown Hall, and we collaborated and we decided that this would be a wonderful resource to share with all of you. My name is Pamela A. Bell, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this workshop, and then anybody who attends any of my workshop, regardless of what college they're from, can come over to my office in Jack Brown Hall for an individual consultation on your own resume after this. And Deborah has my contact information, and you just send me an email, I'll book it on my calendar, and then allow an hour, and I will go through it one by one with you. What do you think the 45 seconds that could change your life mean? What does that statement mean? Why 45 seconds?
That's about how long it take to read your resume.
That's right, and I'm going to switch a word. You're absolutely right. I'm going to switch read to scan. If almost all of government agencies use resume screening software called NeoGov, which does word recognition. When you go into a Word document and you do word find and replace, it's looking for certain words. NeoGov can be programmed with certain key professional terms for the logistics industry, or for a bench chemist, or for physical training, or healthcare, or communication skills. The hiring manager can program 15 or 20 of those words in, and they will scan your resume looking for that electronically. Then, and only then, will somebody look at it with their eyeballs. And once they go here, it's 45 seconds to scan it and read it. They will make a decision that fast, keep it or put it in the trash. So the resumes that I'm going to show you at the end of this slideshow is I'm going to show you resumes that can be scanned and read and yet are rich in detail and don't repeat themselves. So 45 seconds is that. Oh, wait a minute, sorry. Okay. Now, what I have here, I love my job because I never know what walks into the office. And I want to preface this entire talk by saying, writing your own personal resume may be the hardest document you ever write. You can do 10-page papers, you can do essays, you can do team projects. That's a lot easier than writing a resume. First of all, because we usually wait till the last minute to do it. And secondly, we don't really know what to put on it, and we think, oh no, does this sound stupid? It's midnight, I better get this thing done. It doesn't look very pretty, but I gotta go to the career fair. It's usually a last minute thought, and then what the heck do you put on a resume? What I have here, these are real resumes that have walked into my office, and we're gonna make fun of them. Now, if your resume looks like any of these, don't take offense, because that's why we're all in here, is to learn how to do that better. So the question is, what's wrong with this resume? Picture, that's right. There are certain things in America that are illegal. One's a photograph. What's the guy wearing? Nothing. Where is he? At the beach. So we can't see from the waist below, but this is a professional resume. The gentleman's at the beach, having a great old time. Now, even if you're going to put a photograph by your choice, I would do one that's slightly more business-like. So the first thing that's wrong with it, it's got the picture. What else do you think is wrong with it?
Name, address, age, so he labeled it.
Yes, he does everything. It's illegal for employers to ask your age until they hire you. And there are certain jobs that do have age limits. For instance, if you're an accounting student and you want to go work for the Internal Revenue Service, there's a weapon-trained position in the Internal Revenue Service called Special Agent. Those are the guys that the news crews follow who go into Enron and Bernie Madoff's place and those kind of things. And so the security agencies go in first, and then the accountants come in afterwards, but you have to be weapons trained, and you cannot be over 35 to do that. And there are, yes. So you have your calculator in one hand, and there you go, you're all set to go. So let's just go through this right here. So the date of birth, you mentioned that. Absolutely do not put that on your resume. That'll happen on your job application once you're hired. Marital status and kids, don't put that on there. They have no business asking you that or knowing about that unless you choose to reveal that. Any kind of personal data such as age, sexual orientation, health, ethnicity, and weight. In several countries around the world, you are required to put your entire medical history, including any medications you've been on or currently on, and all surgeries and any hospitalizations you've had. How comfy is that? Don't put your list of referrals on your resume. Referrals are people who can vouch for your character. Now, this one is important. You know at the bottom of some Word docs that say created by so-and-so on such a date at 10:57 and 32 seconds? Don't ever put that on your resume, and I'll tell you why. you're students and you're in a process, and you may already have a job or you may be wanting to get a job, you could do just a really beautiful resume right now, but you may not distribute it for 6 months or when you're ready to change jobs or when you want a promotion. You could fine tune it at that point. If you leave the date stamp on there and forget it's there, and it looks like the resume is a year old, a year and a half old, the employer's automatically gonna think, old news, they didn't take time to update it, this probably isn't current, they don't care about being current for me as the employer. If you have several versions of a resume, and the versions could either be you improve it over time and you add other things to it, or it could be, I'm currently in my job and maybe I'm gonna go to this department or maybe I wanna go to that department and I want 2 customized resumes. Don't put date stamps on them, label the folder some way that you store it in so you know, as my husband used to say, who's who in the zoo. You need to know that, but I would not put a date stamp ever on a resume because whatever you hand them, the date stamp looks as fresh as can be. The reference list is the same thing, and now here's the 4 pages long, you can't see this. This is 4 pages long. What have you heard about the length of a resume? What are the rules that you've heard? What are the
According to Wendy's
Page
professor.
only go with one.
1 page, and then I heard some other numbers back there.
Oh, you should be able to go through it in 45 seconds.
Yeah, stand it. I like that, because it's you. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I have been at career fairs. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I never pertain to one of these young individuals, but for a person of a certain age, how do you succumb 30 years of work experience into one document?
There's different ways you can do it. You can cut it off at 15 years and don't count anything below that. Or if you have pertinent experience below the 15-year mark from 0 to 15, you could pull those jobs up separately but not list all of the student type jobs or the fast food jobs or the warehouse jobs we've all done. So you can pull certain jobs out of sequence, but you can still keep those skills. Certain companies and certain people only want one-page resume, and these are the people who you cannot borrow their stapler and you can't touch their stuff. And they will tell you they only want a one-page resume. They're the people that you can't melt the papers on their desk or anything like that. Other people can have 2-page resumes. If I were you, I'd have 2 of them. One, you can use your resume like a business card. And if you have an elevator speech or you're meeting people or you're standing in line at the career fair, set a goal for yourself to have every company there have 1 copy of your resume. Career fair, we had some nights like 50 employers, and I recommended every student, you don't have to use fancy resume paper, just put it through the Xerox machine cleanly and get your resume into 50 different hands and see who calls. For 2 reasons. Number 1, they know about you, and number 2, resume writing for most people is easier than interview skills where people get nervous and your brain goes blank and you have to do that. Okay, so no 4 pages long. Are we gonna keep or discard?
Discard.
Discard, here we go. Okay,
Oh my gosh,
yes.
Wow.
Okay,
it's an essay.
yes, it looks exactly like an essay. This student thought that a resume was to write an essay, so this is huge wall of words. What's really special about the very top part of this resume?
Sector? Address?
Say what?
There's no name.
Yes, there's no name on this resume. This student walked in, got the address, the Mona, California, work experience, all this other stuff, and there's no name. So if the employer would even read this, they'll call and say, hey, anybody there looking for a job? Ask your aunt, ask your cousin, whose resume is this? They're not gonna do it. If a student is that careful, or if anybody's that careless on a resume, they're not gonna do it. Okay, so first of all, you can't see the name because there is no name. What else is wrong with this resume? You talked about, it looks like an essay. A resume is not like any other document. There are no complete sentences in a resume. Everything starts with a verb. Seeking this, manage this, loaded and did 450 tons with forklift on pallet jacks in the warehouse per day. 100% safety record. You always start with action verbs. This is complete sentences over and over and over again. What else do you notice about from a design point of view? The text in relation to the edge of the paper, what do you notice?
There's no time periods.
Say, well, what else do you notice?
All left.
It
Well,
looks
well,
really
right.
Yes, you notice it's slanted?
What?
Yeah.
The text is slanted on the paper. Okay, so here's what happened. So the student was in a hurry, they didn't give a rep because they didn't put their name on it, and then what they did, they lifted the lid of the Xerox machine, slammed it in there out of alignment, plunked down the lid, made 50 copies of this beauty. Now, employers don't know you yet, they haven't met you yet, they don't know you and love you, they can't ask you questions. This document is you, and if you're gonna be that careless with that document, then you're gonna be that careless for the employer. That's the logical leap. Whatever you send to them and whatever it looks like, that's who you're gonna be for them until they get you into the interview and talk to you, which is why resume formatting and working is really important. Okay, so this looks like an essay. This is not an essay. There's zero formatting. I get some student assignments like this periodically, and I have to read. I have 6 online courses, and I just look at them and I think, I can't even slog through this. There's no way I can get through this wall of words.
Do you like the bullet points at the end?
Well, they're a weak save, but yes, I'll show you effective bullet points versus tag on the end. So let's see what else is wrong with this one. Crooked slanted lines we mentioned. No visual focus. Your eyes just go crazy with this. You can't even, well, you don't even want to read this. And then the name doesn't stand out because there is no name. You never ever use full sentences in a resume, which I mentioned earlier. And this guy says, we did this, and starting this, I have a big leadership role at my job as this, and this job has challenged me to become a leader, and all this other stuff. Okay. Never use I, me, or mine on a resume. You can do it in your cover letter a little bit. I remember this guy. This is memory lane for me. I learned to keep a straight face a lot of times. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Organized people, what does this look like? What do you write for yourself every day before you hop in the car? Yes! Does it look like a shopping list? Okay.
Yeah.
This is an 8.5 sheet of paper. This paper will get you the interview that can earn you an extra $1 million over a lifetime because you've got a college degree versus a high school degree. Over 40 years in the workforce. If you get the jobs that you're training for and your background gives you, and I don't care what industry it's in, college graduates, the average is they earn $1 million more than high school grads over the 40 years in their workforce. That's not going to get anybody excited about them because it looks like a shopping list. If you come closely and you look at the resume, what you notice, it's locations and dates. So the only thing we know about this guy is where his body was during work hours at several months in different locations. There's no list of anything else. So let's just break this down. Okay, this looks like a shopping list. A resume is not a shopping list. It is a summary of who you are. There are 0 details in this. If I could tell you one thing for your whole life, not just reading and speaking and writing for the rest of your life, but here it is. Emblazon this on the fleshy tablets of your brain. Specificity equals credibility. The more specific and detailed you can be, the more credible and believable you are. This thing is so vague. I mean, okay, there's no list of skills. Every time I ask this, the whole room freezes. This is not a rocket science quest, pop-out answer. This is the street corner answers. What is a skill? See? Don't froze.
It's just something you're able to do well.
Well, yes. Now, do you notice the word she used in there? She said able. Something you are able to do well. How many of you have been in a job and the person got hired because they interviewed well and then they retired on the job? And you ended up doing their work. Yeah, oh, she's raising her hand, she knows it. She's shaking her head like, never again, I'm never working with that kind of person. Okay, so the person can say they're very skilled, but if they have a bad attitude, if they don't care about you or the team goals, if they could give a rip about the company mission statement or the customer standing in front of them, they're not going to do anything. But they could be the most skilled person in the world. What are accomplishments? Yeah, it's what you actually achieve. So I not only have the skills, but I am a doer, I am a worker, I am a giver, I'm a producer. So two things can be on your resume, the list of what you can do, and then I'm going to show you how to measure what you do and what you have done. Okay? There's neither of those on there. Oh, yes. I know, look at it. What's wrong with this resume?
It's hard to read for
Was
one.
that a different font?
Yes, here's what happened. Here's what happened.
That's different language.
So here's how this happened. Okay,
The margins are a little off.
I know. So here's what happens with this kind of a resume. The younger people in the room, you're the first experiment, worldwide experiment of raising people up online. And so this person thought, oh, 2,000 resumes can be going for this one job. I shall distinguish myself. I'm going to open the font list and I'm going to choose some memorable font. So what they did was they went on here and they got this font. And it's absolutely creepy when you hold the resume. It's not even a nice font. It's not flowing or smooth. It's not anything. It just looks bizarre.
Are those headings above the line?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that. But let's just go through this because this is you. In the business world, there are about 4 or 5 fonts that you have choices of: Times New Roman, Arial, Verdana, that kind of thing. Stick with those. You don't. Years ago, women or young girls, high school young girls, used to spray it with perfume, and then hand it over to her.
Legally blonde.
Yeah.
It was sage.
Yeah. So creepy font. We don't want to do that. We want to do business font to be respectable. Way too vague. Again, look at all this white space. This could be $1 million document that starts you on your career, and they've wasted. This is the most expensive real estate you will ever own, and look at all that wasted space. Now, when you are a job seeker, or you're changing jobs, or you're promoting with your own company, you need to have what your goals are and what you need. And some of that you would never share with the employer. This lady chose to. I'm going to turn around and read this out loud to you. And the employer, everything you do, whether it's crooked, whether there's too much white space, whether it's a block of text, they're going to say job beggar or resource for our company. Which one are you? Okay, so listen up if you want to hear the jewel of a statement. This is her objective. Due to the illness of my father in the past 8 months, it has been a struggle to take care of him and work a public job, even part-time. I would love to be able to work from my home. This would enable me to take care of my father while at the same time be productive and have an income. I have worked in a fast-paced environment for more than 20 years. I would welcome a change and the opportunity to slow down. We gonna hire this lady? Okay, listen. We all have a story. We all have things going on in our life. Nobody has an easy life. I don't care who they are. Stuff happens. Sometimes it stacks up, and sometimes it spreads out, but it never stops. Don't put that on your resume. That's 100% job beggar. 100% job beggar. My list is, I like to have a refrigerator because I pack my lunch. I like to work with nice people generally. I like to be in a safe environment where I can go to my car, where there's lighted parking lots or some people walking by. I don't want to commute more than 40 minutes, 45 or 50 if there's snow or rock slides in the mountains, something like that. I mean, I have my list. Oh, and I don't want to have a job where I have to dry clean my clothes. I used to do that. It was awful. Ugh.
Wait, that was a mandatory thing?
No.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, we used to have to years ago. We had to wear suits and the whole deal.
Oh.
No more. Okay, so that's my list. I'm not putting that on my resume. What usually comes across with students is seeking a position in your company where I can practice what I learned in my classes and develop professional skills. All about you, it's not about the employer. Yeah. And then I wanna work in an exciting job. Well, most jobs are half boring, even the exciting ones. So you've told the employer who they have to be to make you happy at work. Keep that list to yourself. Yes, sir.
You said that was a summary or an objective?
Objective.
So I've seen resume templates where an objective is left out completely and replaced with a summary.
Sure.
Okay. There's a difference between those two things?
Yes, and here's my thought on it. Objectives are optional at this point. And for students or career changers, I would recommend you write an objective for yourself so you name who you are and what you're going to do in one sentence. And then your whole resume flows from that concept and those values. It keeps you focused. So we all know how to do lots of things, and some resumes have lots of things on them, but for the employer to hire you, you've got to be on their dream list. And when you write a really tight objective, which I'll show you, it keeps you focused. It keeps you knowing who you are and where you're going. So here's my lady here. Weird spacing. Job beggar objective. Oh, I left this one out. Okay, let's see, there's my job. Okay, now, this is where the master's degree in career services, this 10-point list I'm going to show you, When we write a resume, we sit in our room at 10 o'clock at night, we got the laptop with no thought of what the employer is looking for, what's their dream list for every employee. Years ago, probably in the 1980s, the soft side campus, the social services people, did data collection on the hiring field. And they sent out questionnaires to all sorts of businesses, small cap, medium cap, large cap. And they asked them different questions. And the question here that I pulled off this, I don't care whether you're a fish hatchery, a daycare center, a warehouse, a chemistry lab, whatever you do, what are the top 10 things you want your employees to be aware of so when they go to you, they're aware of that. And so here's the list. And this is in order of importance. From nonprofits to government agencies to big oil and big pharma, all the way down the line. This is the number one thing they want you to know that you're there to do. Number one, make money. That's why bosses my age flip out when you use your cell phones, because you're off task, or whatever that is. Okay. Here's the second one, save money. You guys are brilliant at this. You do computer research. You can do spreadsheets. You can do data analytics. You can pull reports. You can do graphics really fast, and it'd take me 5 years to learn how to do it. You can save them time based on your skills and your discipline and your work ethic. Oh, save money. Save time. There you go. Okay, which is more valuable, money or time?
Time.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. You can always find someone. You can rob a bank. You can do it. You can win the lottery, rob a bank. I don't know. Somehow you can get money, but once the time passes, you've missed the opportunity, personally and professionally. So that's the work-life balance. If you have children, or if you're driving yourself and you collapse one day, don't do that. Take care of yourself because you're your tool. You're your instrument. That's a big one. I always have a grad student whenever I have computer projects. I could give them an assignment that would take me 3 weeks to do it in half an hour. They got it all done and it's beautiful. I just think, oh, I love you guys. Okay, make work easier. You know how to show up on time. You know how to work in teams. You have this command presence within you. You know how to follow orders. You know how to give orders. You know how to read instructions. You know how to fill out paperwork. You come with a huge set of transferable skills. Skills you learn in one context, and they roll over into any other context you want them to go into. Solve a specific problem. That happens a lot through your innovation as well as your problem solving, plus the training in your particular field, whether it's chemistry or logistics or healthcare or anything else like that. I'm giving a copy of this PowerPoint to the Veteran Center so you don't have to take notes unless you want to. Be more competitive, you bet. Build relationships and image with customers. Every one of you greeted me warmly. You looked me in the eye when I asked you your major. You put down your devices if you were using them. You were way ahead of the rest of the campus as far as soft skills and presence. Take it from me. Expand the business, attract new customers, and retain existing customers. Look at the top 5. You were all specialists in the top 5. Based on your background, your military service, your commitment to education, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You are experts in all 5 of those. And if I were you, I'd have all of them on my resume. That's what they are. Wouldn't it be nice if dating were that easy? Somebody just handed you the list and said, top 5 non-negotiable, bottom 5, let's talk about it. Okay, so there you go. Okay, now, once they have your resume, once they're in hiring mode and they have your resume, the list shifts, and here it is in rank order. Number 1, directly related work experience. Why is that first? Say again?
They wouldn't know you've done it.
And I'll add to that sentence that you can hit the ground running and do it. I can hire you, and you can be immediately profitable to me, 60% capacity, because I know what's on your resume and I interviewed you. I'm busy, I can't train you right away. I can show you the break room, I can introduce you to the people, and there's the break room or whatever. But I can give you certain projects right away, and you have immediate traction. You can start to work for me. Then I can, when my person comes back, I can assign them to you, or whatever that is. You're absolutely right. Number 1, directly related work experience. You have bucket loads of transferable skills, I promise you. Number 2, accomplishments. This is not skills, this is measuring, and I'm going to show you how to measure what you do. Number 3, evidence of leadership skills. It does not say title of a manager. Every one of you has bucket loads of leadership skills. Let's step outside of the military context and go to a work context, or even in the military. How many times have you had a boss who's offloaded projects on you, and you ended up doing them, and they got the parking space, they got the label, they got the name tag, and they got the paycheck, and you were doing a big chunk of their job? It could be project managers, training new employees. Claim jumper over here on hospitality. Almost all the wait staff there work go to Cal State here. And I know this. What happens is there's somebody who's a really good waiter or waitress, and I hire 4 new green people. I say, take them and train them for me, give them back to me in 2 weeks, make them just like you, and you go, okay, and you do it. I don't give you a thank you, I don't give you any more money, I don't give you a good parking space, I don't give you a free meal ticket, I don't give you a claim jumper gift card, I don't give you that big piece of cake, nothing. That's leadership, because I gave you my job and you did it. This happens all the time. All the time. Boss goes on vacation, who do they throw the keys to, and you have to lock up the place, or do inventory, or do whatever it is. I want you to think of your life like that all the times. People have off-shifted, people above you have off-shifted their tasks to you that are actually management tasks. They got busy, they didn't have time, they weren't, didn't have the skills to do it, they knew you would do it faster than them. All of that. That's the evidence of leadership skills. Communication skills are key. You all have excellent physical presence in here, which is stunning. For the tech generation, most of them cower and look down at their phones and have that. Posture, you on the contrary, you are the opposite of all of that. So well done to all of you. Communication skills, work ethic, education, initiative, team orientation, and good fit with the company. And number 10 is job stability. First of all, you can get away with having more jobs on your resume that only lasted a period of time because you're in college. They're college jobs, part-time student jobs. So you don't have to worry about the 20-year with one company thing. That's what they're looking at when they're looking at your resume. That's what they're looking at when they're hiring you. Lots of companies right now are not only looking at what need you can fulfill for me right now, but who can you be for me in 5 years? They won't tell you that in the interview, but they'll start asking you questions about what would you do if, that type of thing. Because they like what they see and they want to hang on to you and they want to be able to have a career path. Okay, here's how you do it right. You can read this list, but you don't have to worry about it because I'm going to show you samples and then I'm here to help. Do you notice how once I put up that full page, I stopped talking? That's a presentation skill. Because the minute you see that, you start reading, and if I burst in and start talking to you, all of a sudden your mind's going, who do I pay attention to? I can't read, I don't want to listen to her. If she's talking, I'm trying to listen to her. If you're doing a PowerPoint presentation and you do something like this, stand back and read it slowly to yourself and then turn to the audience and continue going. Most of the things I do they fly in this way. So you get one line at a time, but if you ever do this, this is a side tip. Read it slowly, let everybody absorb it, and then go, okay? Yeah, this responsibilities from accomplishments. Responsible for 5 of these and 7 of those, responsible for 5 shifts of this and 100 tons of that, responsible for. Eliminate responsible from your list, and I will show you how in just a moment. This one here, weave keywords throughout. There are certain industry terms in every major, every concentration you're studying. So if you're a bench chemist, you have all these safety terms, you have the equipment you use. If you're an accountant, you have accounts receivable and payable, journal entries, bank reconciliations, all of that. If you're logistics and supply chain, you have pallet jacks, you have inventory control. You have HIPAA compliance, you have all these different types of keywords within each one of your industries. For HR, it's records maintenance, payroll, justification, vacation administration, life insurance, all this stuff. So each thing that you study has keywords that are specific to the industry, and you're learning those in your courses. I actually have career worksheets that I'm going to show you. Okay. This is a federal government database. See, Washington discourages me now, or I laugh too hard and then I can't look at it anymore. However, onetonline.org, it looks like 1T online. This is the federal government database of job descriptions. And what you do is you click on there and you type in marketing, and this is the example I have here. So the very top part that's all white here, this is one of the resume bullet points that ONET says. Gather data on competitors and analyze their prices, sales, and method of marketing and distribution. If you want to put this on your resume, what you do is you read that sentence again, and I did not analyze prices or the method of marketing. That's in red, so I'm going to delete that from the sentence. I go for 100% honest resumes. Then what you do is you start measuring what you do. I gathered data on 75 scrap metal competitors, analyzed their sales and distribution, and then here's where I measure it, resulting in a 37% yearly savings. You see the evolution of that bullet point? Straight off the government database, they'll know you copied it. Delete what's not true so you have integrity in your interview and on your resume. Eliminate everything in red and then add your data in there. Transferable skills. Which person would you hire? The bottom one, right? Yeah. This young woman came in, she was very shy, and she was the scrap metal dealer for Honda Corporation. She just sat at her desk and ordered tons of scrap metal to be shipped around the world and melted down and made into Honda cars. She never measured herself before. And this was something I just pulled off of hers. But this database has every single career on it. I can come back and do a workshop just on ONET at some point because it gives you salary ranges for new people, mid-level people, high people for the state of California, for the US. It's detailed down. It's the federal government research on all the jobs. So this will help you with your languaging if you need help with that. Okay, so here's what you do. You redo your resume, go to ONET Online, and here's my email address. The way you book an appointment with me is you email me here, and then I will tell you my availability, match it with your calendar, and book separately. I do not have online capacity to do that.
Permitted to take photographs.
Of course you can. Everything I have is open source sharing. And that's my office phone number down at the bottom there. Now, after you all photograph this, we're going to do the fun stuff. I'm going to actually pass out resumes. I've got 3 different resumes that I want to show you, but before we do, my tech guy? Where did he go? Thank you. I want to get out of this slideshow and I want to show you these career services worksheets that I've given Deborah the whole folder for. These keyword sheets are absolutely stunning. It does 2 things. As a student, if you felt like me, every quarter my transcript got updated and all I had to do, right there, look at that. Field operations, fleet operations, government agency interaction, hazardous material regulations, inventory control, logistics, preloading, preventative and predictive maintenance management, project timing and coordination. Look at this list. You couldn't come up with that in a million years, but yet you recognize, probably from your military experience, you've done half of that stuff, right? Or a lot of it. Field staff training, fulfillment, field inspections, drug testing, driver safety. It's all right there. And these worksheets go on page after page. Will you please close that one out and let's find the one for, go to lab. Not lab testing, but the one, yeah. We've got some bio and chem people here. And then scroll down to the first page, please. Look at that. Isn't that nice to see what you do listed like that for you? Fungi, enzymes, hematological testing.
You said that's the information that's available on ONET?
No, Deborah, be nice to Deborah. She's got the folder that contains all these. So this is Be Nice to Deborah time, and she's going to share it with you.
And
The College of Business bought the license to use this on campus, and I'm giving it to the Veterans Center. Yes, sir.
So a lot of times when I have been to things like this before, the presentation is always focused on business and money and sales. And I'm a clinician. I work in like therapeutic services.
Oh,
and
perfect, we
social
have one,
work.
there's a worksheet for you too.
Okay.
Yeah, one is called counseling and the other is therapeutic. So counseling could be more psychological counseling and then there's actually more of a physical component to
Okay.
it. So, yeah, it's in here, it's all listed there. But please scroll down to the one that says project management. Yeah. Okay, see this one here that he's opening called project management? There is no worksheet for managers because they're everywhere, but managers all use the same skills. This one will do it. Please scroll down. Yeah, no, here we go. Okay. What you see here is all of these things that managers do. From here on down where it says project, if you eliminate the word project, all of the tasks after that managers do outside of projects. They just do it day in and day out. Why don't you scroll down and show them how long this one is?
Oh god. Project management scheme. Project.
Yeah.
Project.
Methodology, financial analysis, other areas of expertise, keep going. And then you've got client, how you interface with your clients, how you allocate your resources. This is a generic worksheet you should all get from Deborah because this has all the management skills. Here's how you document, report, here's some of the tech skills that you use to organize your workflow. IT aptitude, you guys can do great with that. It just goes on and on for them. Okay, now, leave it here, right? Okay, now, when resumes come to me, here's the list because you're the internet generation. When you go to describe yourself, here's what comes into my office. Team player, communication skills, problem solver, work ethic. Oh, boring, right? Everybody has the same thing because that's what you see on the internet, copy and paste, boom, this is good to go. How about this? Drive accountability. Ooh. Strategic thinker. Ooh. So this section here, since it's personal competencies, every single field, there's some crossover with these descriptors because it's human nature to be good, but some of them are very specific. Profitability conscious.
Like positive, resourceful, and self-starter.
Yes! See, she's already picked her words.
Okay.
Better than team player, communication skills, work ethic. Okay, these worksheets are incredibly robust and valuable, and you will see yourselves. Each field has a different focus. Accountants are detail-oriented, double-checking, ethical, follow the lines, color inside the rules, the whole thing. But each one of these is customized to that. This is where, okay, now if you'll close that up, I'm going to pass out resumes. This first resume is really old from when I first started working here. I loved this guy. He was in the Air Force, and he came back here to get his IT degree and then got a master's degree in IT skills, cybersecurity. But when you look at the skills in his list, it's really old. But what I'd like you to focus on this resume is his summary of qualifications and then read his bullet points here and on the second page. Because this will show you how you can take your military experience and write it up for private sector. And he measures stuff. So take about 2 or 3 minutes and read this resume, and those samples are yours to keep and mark up. Don't laugh at how old the computer skills are. When you get to the back page, enjoy his descriptions of the LAN installations in a fast-paced, constantly changing military environment, sometimes under extreme weather conditions.
Yeah.
All of these are transferable skills that you have in your own field. You write them up in the military context and the employers. If he's, let me ask you a few questions about him. Is he dedicated?
Yes.
Yes.
Is he skilled at his job?
Yes.
Is he the kind of guy you can count on to get the job done no matter what?
Yeah.
Is he a good team player?
Yes.
See, we didn't have to list any of those terms. You could tell by how we wrote up his bullet points that that's who he is. He's telling a story by what he does, and just a few descriptors. This should offer you hope that it can be done. You have your skills, I have mine. These are my skills. I love doing this. I love writing stuff up, figuring out the truth, putting it together nicely. Okay, now what I want to show you, I'm going to pass out 2 resumes, and unfortunately I put the same fake name on top of both of them. Using the career services worksheets that you just saw, look what you can do at the top of your resume. You can insert table type orders, and you can list 21 keywords right here, right on top. 3 separate columns, each one has a label. This is an this is an accounting guy. He does finance, accounting, and operations, and there's 7 skills under each one. Here's the guy with the same name but a different resume. I can't think of, some days I'm not creative with names. IT management, audit and compliance, and tech support are his 3 columns. You could do this in any field. You can do it with bench chemistry. You can do it in human resources. I just happen to bring these. The difference between the 2 of these, this is a list of skills. This guy measured himself out. So the bottom half of the resumes are different, and I want you to be able to see the difference in that. But the top half, you now have the ability to do that first section, please. And hold on here. Oh, here. Anything can be measured, anything at all. As a boss, which one would you like to see better? A list of the job tasks, or would you like to see the productivity measured out in percentages, numbers, quarterly results? Yeah. And I wanted to show you this difference because when you're sitting at home and it's 11:59 p.m., 1 second before midnight,
Does font size matter
yes,
on the listing?
no, not too much. You'll notice that on the tables in there, the font size may be a size 10 or 9 to get the terms in there, but the rest of the resume is 11 or 12. It's not objectionable that the font size is a little bit smaller. It's better than having the bullet points interrupted and they look disorganized. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You have a whole raft of skills that you can sell to people from different jobs you've had and the experiences in the military, but you can only use 3 columns on the top. You can take the worksheets from every job you've had. Let's say I was in construction for a while, then I drove a truck for a while, then I went into the military, and then I'm doing computers or whatever that path is. You can do a separate worksheet with just your skills list from every job you've ever had. So it's a 3 by 8 table over and over and over again with the title and the tasks. And how you customize your resume is you rearrange the top columns. You could rearrange the order, or you can delete one and copy the other one into it. And that's how you customize the resume for what they're looking for. Let's say you have customer service and none of these resumes have customer service that allow you to delete one column, the text in one column, and then go to your customer service master page or your skills master page, paste it right in there. It's already pre-formatted. So if there's this hot job that somebody's telling you about, like, I need your resume, they give me 5 minutes and you gotta customize. You don't say give me 2 weeks. Pretty slick, huh? Those units can be modular because you now have access to all of the worksheets and you pull the ones. Everybody needs a project management worksheet. And then from there, you pull from your own degree, human resources, physical training, lab skills, computer skills, etc. What questions does anybody have? Do you feel like you can do this? Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. You talked about in the beginning about an elevator pitch. Like, can you give us an example of a good one?
Yes. That could be another whole workshop, but instead of saying, hi, I'm in school and I'm studying chemistry and I'd like to work for you, what you could do is you say, I'm working as fast as I can to develop a formula for children's cancer because I know a little 7-year-old girl named Lisa. who needs my help, and I'm a bench chemist at such and such pharmaceutical, pleased to meet you. You'll remember me. Yeah. You could say something. I help families protect over 40 years of their assets from the workforce by writing wills and trusts so that your family gets the money and not Uncle Sam. You know, whatever. They're short. I could make them up one after the other. Those are just examples. You can pick anything you want to do. But what you in one sentence you could say who you are. Make yourself interesting instead of I'm in school right now and I need a job and here's my resume and you're the president. Can you interview me and hire me? That's not very. Deborah, we have another workshop, elevator pitches.
Oh, yes.
Did you say you also had a sample cover sheet?
I do. See, you guys pay attention. I ask my class questions and they all freeze. Okay, I'm gonna make them get up and talk. Okay, this is the cover sheet that can go with either of them. When you look online, which you all do, it's 3 blocks of text and nobody's gonna read it, right? Look at this beauty. Would you read that? Scan it and read it? Isn't that nice? Lots of white space, easy to read. Now here's the rule. Your resume is factual about what you do and what you can do. The resume gives you 5 more places for information, but you never repeat what you've already said on your resume. This is all new stuff to get them interested in you. And then you go into the resume. If you repeat, they're going to read this and they're going to think we really like you, and then you read the exact same thing on their resume. They're going to think they're wasting my time. I've already heard this. And unconsciously they're thinking, they're going to do that to me at work. They're going to trap me in the elevator. They're not going to have a report done. They're going to ask for the instructions 5 times, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Give them something new. There's plenty of places. You're sparkling. You're brilliant. Let them see.
So where do some instructors tell you not to have a cover letter?
Oh, here's why. I'll tell you why. There are certain things in life that everybody is an expert on in regards to you. How to raise your children, how to spend your money, who to marry, and how to write your resume.
Say what?
People always give you advices on those things. They give you advice on those things. It's none of their business.
Or how to eat.
Yeah, throw that one in there too.
Yeah.
So here's what I do. I want you to write a resume and send it out because the only proof of a good resume is do you get a response? Do you get called in for an interview? That's that resume's job, is to be interesting enough that they say, I want to talk to you, I want to talk to you, I want to talk to you. Try it. If it doesn't work for you, abandon it, do something different. This has been highly successful for many of our people, our students. Where else can you pack in 21 key words? Those are powerhouse words on those resumes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you don't have to explain it. You don't have to do 10 bullet points under each job. You just pick 2 key projects and write up the data on it. Keeps it to 1 page.
Do you see students by like appointments?
Yes, you have to email me and then I will see you. I don't have online scheduling. I'm not part of it. Sorry. You have to be in that office to use it. I don't know what that's about. Okay. Yes, I'm over in Jack Brown Hall. Daniel can tell you where I live. We work together.
Oh, okay.
And Deborah does. I know Deborah too. What questions does anybody have about this? Do you feel comfy doing it? Do you have the resources?
Yes.
You more excited about it?
Heck yeah.
You don't think it's going to be super hard, and it's not 11:59 p.m. and you're still thinking, what do I put on my resume?
It's a good way to think about it as you already, to visualize yourself as already working at this company, and this is just a formality.
That's a great way to write it. You're writing your future success story. Yeah, why not? Visualization is very powerful.
I'm like excited to finish school.
Yes, yes. I'll come and do a
So that way
workshop
I
on.
have a purpose in life again.
Yes, yeah, I know.
Wow.
But I can teach you how to do informational interview. You get into CEO before they're hiring and all sorts of stuff. I've got these techniques that I can teach you. Deborah's booked me for 3 sessions and then I can give her another list. But anyway, it's been a pleasure. It's really been a pleasure. I was so excited to come here. My late husband was in the Air Force. My dad was in World War II, was a Darby's Ranger, 1st Battalion. And before my mother died, she dug around in the closet and she gave me her great-grandfather's Civil War one-shot load rifle with a bayonet on it.
Oh.
I know. So anyway, I'm really privileged to be here. And you'll see me again for a couple other workshops. So thank you very much for your time and attention.
Thank you.